No big surprise. And we'll see what happens. Tonight, I want to talk about a project I've had in mind for the last, well, nearly a year, which is to get involved in a project to help breed and distribute uh, Goodeids, which are an endangered species. Hello, Jeff, you're here. And yeah, it's taken a long time. I've been very busy with work, and money is very tight. And so I've had to be as frugal as I can, um, get things on the cheap, and make do and mend. And we'll be talking about that tonight. And yeah, and we'll take it from there. So tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try for the first time using citric acid uh, with with some warm water to descale some crusty old aquarium lids that I picked up with my aquariums several months ago, and see if it works. So I'm going to be doing a few live streams tomorrow. Um, you'll find out, as I found out, uh, whether or not citric acid works, as well as vinegar or any other acid, to get rid of limescale and things like that. So Jeff, come join the green room. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm a StreamYard virgin. And yeah, you're the one with the gift of the gab. I'm just the guy with the mission. And yeah, we'll take things from there. Jeff, I sent you the link in email. But if you don't have the link in your email, I can probably just paste it here and go like that. And say, there you go, come up. Jeff's been a busy guy this afternoon, out shopping and shaving and fun things like that. Probably making dinner for Kathy. Don't know. Anyhow, I'm no good on my own. I'm sorry, people. I always need a wingman to do these things.
Hello.
Hello, Jeff.
Hello there. I looked in my mail, but it wasn't there, so I went to it was in the junk mail.
Ah, so you're saying I'm junk to you?
No. It was just that's where it was located at. I don't think you've ever emailed me before. Maybe that's why.
I think I have.
Have you?
Anyhow, yeah, I think I have. Anyhow,
How are we doing today?
yeah, not bad. Really appreciate you being here, Jeff, to help me out and support me,
Oh, absolutely.
because I'm absolutely rubbish on my own. But
Nah.
I'm not good in monologue mode, but I'm okay in conversation mode. So, right.
I think
A
you
little
do
bit
it
about.
both ways.
Sorry.
You do good both ways.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. Anyhow, a little bit of background. I started keeping fish in about 1969 and did that for many, many years. And then found myself with 27 tanks in Columbus, Ohio. And then also found out that I was going to come to London for 5 weeks with a high likelihood of staying here for 2 years. And that was in 1990. So that was 36 years ago, and I'm still here. So I had to find a way to get rid of those 27 tanks and the fish and all the gear, all the equipment and everything. And thank God I was a member of a local fish club, a fish society, whatever you want to call it.
I bet the people were like, oh, it's a bonanza.
Yeah, I let things go for super cheap, including the banjo catfish. I bought 6 banjo catfish about 2 months before I found out I was coming over here, and I was going to start a breeding project with those. Never got around to it and had to effectively give them away. Along with, all my 55 and 40 gallon tanks and a ton of 10 gallon tanks and some 20 longs and stuff like that. And I was out because I've been working so hard in IT, which is what brought me over here. I had no fish, no tanks, anything for several years. And I've only just got back into the hobby about a year and a half ago. Yeah.
So IT is something I wish I would have gotten into. I can hear you, but it's broken up quite a bit.
Well, I don't know why. Because I'm hardwired with my headphones on, so I'm doing the best I can.
No, it sounds great now. Just for a minute there, it just kind of glitched for a second, and we went off.
Let me do this. Do that.
Okay.
And do that, and hopefully that gets better.
Why am I seeing a little tag on my thing that says Credit Karma? What is that for?
Credit Karma, what?
Credit Karma. I'm going to take a picture of this for you. What in the world is this? Come on, camera. Yeah, I got it. I'm going to send it to you in Messenger. I have no idea. Can you see it? You can't see it? The white tag by my...
No.
I'm going to send it to you here. Wait till you see this. It's really
I'm
something.
At Messenger now.
Okay, I just sent it to you.
Okay, yeah.
Look at that.
I have no idea.
What in the world?
I've never heard of Credit Karma.
I don't know either. In the heck is that? I'm going to pop out and pop back. Well, no, I can't do that, I don't think. I'll just stay.
Go ahead and leave and come back. I'll remove you and you come back, yeah?
Okay. Put me out in the green room and see what happens.
Yeah. And now we see what happens. We wait. And we wait.
It's on. Whoop, take it back. Put me back out again. It was. I've never seen this before, ever. It was on you after.
I've never heard of it.
Now, can you move me to the left and see what happens and see if it follows me? Because if Karma's following me, I might want to play the lottery or something. Oh, no, it's on your side now. Okay. It's over there on that side where I was at. You can put me back there, though.
If I go like that.
Yep, it's on me now. And now it's on you. Interesting. I don't know. Can anybody out there see it? I don't know.
Free advertising for Credit Karma. I have no idea. I've never even heard of them.
I haven't either. I wonder what is going on here. I'm checking all my tabs down here to see if I might have. It's a mystery.
It's a puzzlement.
Yeah. What I think I'll do is I'm going to pop all the way out and back in and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Jeff pops out and Jeff pops back in. Waiting for Jeff to pop back in.
Yep. It followed me. It was even in the back room. That's really odd, isn't it? Huh.
Mm.
Let me see here. We got two people in the studio chatting. I don't see anybody in the studio except for us.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all right. It's just an easy way to make content without having to do any edits.
If I go like this, I don't have to look at my eyes. There, I can't see them. I'm incognito.
Right. Anyhow,
Yeah.
I'm going to open up my phone, which I believe I have on mute, and I want to show you the setup that I've got here in my flat, and it's worth saying that housing in the UK tends to be quite small. We don't have a lot of room. We don't have a tumble dryer. We got a washing machine, but we don't have a tumble dryer. We don't have a dishwasher, so I'm the dishwasher. Yeah, things are tight. So I've found enough room to put a rack in my living room, in my lounge. And I found a guy who used to import and sell cichlids. And he sold me 3 aquariums that were 3 foot long, 1 foot deep, and 1 foot high, with sliding glass lids, and included the matin filters, 30-pound each, which is probably about $45 each. And because I've got the sliding glass lids and the matin filters included, I was quite interested. So it was about a 2.5-hour drive for me to drive way up north to get these things. And I brought them back, I think it was August last year. But then I went and got a job as head chef in a Detroit-style pizza restaurant. And that's been consuming all of my time. And so progress has not been rampant. And budget is quite limited. So I've done what I can in the time that I have with the funds that I've got. So I'm going to try to show you the rack that I've got and see. You're signing back into, okay. Continue and see if this works. Entering the studio. Continue. I want to visit the site. Ooh, not this time. No, it doesn't want to let me. Okay, we're going to give up on that. So basically, if I just move my laptop, I've got a rack here, and there's one of the aquariums. Well, there's how about
Nice.
There's an empty one on the upper, a full one with plants and fish in the middle, and another empty one down here on the lower. And that's what I've got to play with.
That's
and
nice.
What I've decided to do, because I've spent my life since I can remember, being a big fan of tropical fish. And I've told you the story before, Jeff, about my great granddad building his own aquarium back in the 1960s and loading it up with what he called common guppies, which look an awful lot like ender guppies to me. These, what would they call enders these days? He bought a bag full of guppies, a bag full of Anacharis or Elodia densa, I think it was called at the time. And he'd feed him once or twice a day and do a 10% water change once a week. And I was just enamored by these fish. And a couple of years later, I got my own fish tank and got another fish tank, and then started working in the pet shop as a freshwater fish guy and stuff like that. And then ended up breeding fish and selling them to pet shops and so forth and so on. And I thought to myself, having got back into the hobby with the help of YouTube and you, Jeff, and Ron and David, and all the channels that I watch, and even, I've got to admit, including Father Fish, back in the early days, encouraged me to get back into the hobby. And I sat back and I thought, what can I do that's going to be meaningful and significant? Maybe not important, but meaningful. What positive contribution can I make?
Well, you already have by just being here.
Well, thank you, Jeff. But I mean, paying back to the fish. And then I found out that nearly 25% of the freshwater tropical fish that we know about are endangered or threatened in their own native habitats. And then I had a look at my water parameters as they come out of the tap, which is very high KH and GH, very high pH, and rather high nitrate. What could I keep in these sort of circumstances without spending too much money on C-Chem and lots of chemicals and this and that and the other, trying to chase all sorts of parameters? And what fish need help? And the answer is Goodeids, or Goodeids, or whatever you want to call them. So that's what I set my sights on. And, they're not the most beautiful fish in many people's eyes. Sometimes it seems that they appear to be a little bit humpbacked and stuff like that. And there are some species get more attention than others because they're more appealing. But I'm not here to make a fortune. I'm not here to get rich. I'm not here to get monetized. I'm not here to do anything except say thank you back to the fish and back to the hobby, and try to leave a positive influence. A little tiny footprint. And if that's the best I can do, then that's the best I can do.
Well, that being said, there's nothing wrong with making a couple dollars. If you have an abundance and you want to share with people to help have them get into the hobby, there's nothing wrong with making $1 or $2 here and there. I mean, I'm not in it for money, but if I make a little bit of money selling some fish on the auction or a private sale or something,
I absolutely get that, and maybe one day I'll reach that point. God knows what I do for a living right now is not sustainable. I'm a 64-year-old man, and I'm standing up working in a restaurant for 10, 12 hours a day.
Wow, you've got to be hurting at the end of the day. I know mine would.
It's taking its toll on me, but in the meantime, it's filling a gap that needs to be filled. So anyhow, never mind all of that. My parents raised me, Jeff, to leave a situation better than I found it.
That's good.
And that's in my DNA. It was drummed into me when I was a little kid, and I fully believe in that sort of philosophy. And that's the way I'm going to live out the rest of my life, come what may. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Well, you know what? You're on the right course, though. You're doing the right. You're doing as your folks had taught you, and
Yeah.
it shows in the way your mannerisms are very polite and very kind, man. And I think what you're doing with the conservation side of things, I mean, it's absolutely inspiring.
Well, it's our fault that these fish are in the predicament that they're in. It's down to pollution and destruction of habitats and things like that. Um, and if it weren't for us, they'd be absolutely fine. But because of us, well, they're not.
Why not? Well, it could be because of them. I this is where it gets me sometimes. I know we're all in the same boat. We're all human beings. Um, but I look at it this way. I mean, true, the species of human beings aren't. They don't care as much about conservation as like you or I do. I mean, there's different kinds of people, different kinds of ideologies, stuff.
Yeah.
Some people just want to make money. They want to clear that forest. They want to dam that river so they can make money with a store or whatever, and they don't think of the consequences of it.
But that's down to education. I mean, if the public is aware, if the public were aware of what having a brand new Walmart built in some, I don't know,
In the Amazon or something. Yeah.
in a mesa in Mexico, that they're going to have to block up a stream or fill in a couple of springs or something like that. Pour concrete in them and screw whatever. Why? I've never been a conservationist in my life, Jeff. I never have. But the more that I look into it,
Yeah. You're doing the right thing for the fish. You're doing the right thing for the nature.
Well, the guiltier we are, and it's all about. It's largely about education and about having a conscience and morals and scruples. Anyhow, so what I plan on doing tomorrow, I've shown you as best I can my rack. I've got one tank up and running. I've had to tear down a 110-liter tank, which was the first tank that I bought to get me back into the hobby last year. I've torn that down. 110 liters is 29 gallons. And then I bought these three roughly 22-gallon tanks, US gallons, and built this rack and so forth and so on. And I've moved the fish and the substrate and the plants and all of that stuff over. And I did an ammonia test today, and everything's absolutely fine. pH test is 7.9. That's brilliant. But I went through an awful lot of vinegar trying to get the lime scale off these tanks because they were cichlid tanks.
Yes.
And they were very crusty. They were from a guy that had about 300 tanks in an outbuilding that he had next to his house. And in fact, I'll give you an indication. The tanks came with sliding glass lids, right? And here is one of the sliding glass lids. If you can see all the crust.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the old algae in the lime scale.
Does that come off with the vinegar?
Well, I did the tanks with the vinegar, and it took a very long time.
Okay.
So what I did was, when I was shopping for ingredients for the pizza shop, I went into an ethnic shop trying to find some basil and some basil. What's that? Basil? And I found this stuff, citric acid.
Oh yeah.
Which people use in cooking and making stuff and baking stuff and whatever. And I thought, well, lime scale is an alkali, and citric acid is kind of an acid. So if I heated up some water and put these things in a bucket, heated up some water, threw the citric acid in, and put in a little little cartridge filter that came with a 7.5 gallon tank that I also have that I don't use. I just use that as a water recirculator, like a wave maker, just to keep the water circulating around in the box, and to dissolve all of the citric acid granules. Leave it in there for a couple of hours. Leave the lids in there for a couple of hours, and pull them out. See what happens. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Is I'm going to be doing 3 or 4, well, 2 or 3, 3 or 4 short live streams as I go through the process, find out what happens, how it works, and then maybe turn those into a long form video to post here on YouTube as a how to use citric acid to get lime scale off of aquarium equipment.
I was going to ask you about the citric acid. Now, are you putting that just to clean the equipment, or are you mixing it with water to put in the tank? Because it will lower the pH. It will lower the pH.
Not in the tank. Not in the tank. I use vinegar in the tank, but vinegar would do the same thing. Vinegar is acidic.
Yes.
So
Tiffany uses citric acid to dechlorinate her water. I didn't know if it did that or not, but she told me she did. I was like, oh, I never heard that before.
Oh, that's fine if you've only got chlorine, but if you got chloramine is a forever thing unless you get something to reverse that. So, chloramine doesn't gas off like chlorine does.
Yeah, I get Safe does the chlorine and the chloramine. That's what I use.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's what it's all about. So I'm going to soak these crusty old lids in a big bin full of warm water with citric acid dissolved in it, and let it run for a few hours tomorrow, and put the old nitrile gloves on and pull them out and give them a scrub and see if the citric acid behaves any better than vinegar. And then on the 7th of June, I drive to Basingstoke in sort of the west of England, west-ish, to the British Livebearer Association, one of their 3 annual meetings, which is a fish meeting and an auction. And the British Livebearer Association is all about conservation of threatened and endangered live-bearing species like Xiphophorus and Goodeids and stuff like that, typically from Mexico, Central America, Northern South America, and places like that. I don't know yet what fish will be on offer because they've not produced their auction list. They will do in a week or so. But I've got my heart set on picking up some Goodeids most people might not think the most beautiful fish, but the little takes it needs some help.
So on top of that, they have very interesting behavior too. They're not like typical live bearers. They can be. Yeah. They have a little more personality, I think. Yeah. In fact, I have the San Marcos Xenotopa dodroi, and they would actually stand their ground with a convict cichlid or a firemouth.
Really?
And yeah, they would. In fact, they would actually go after them once in a while, and it's like, wow, these guys are really tough.
Nice.
And pretty aggressive fish. I mean, they take care of themselves. So that's really interesting about that. Most live bearers don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I started probably like most people do in fish keeping with live bearers, and then found those quite easy. And then I moved on to egg layers, angels and barbs and bettas and stuff like that, and a few different types of cichlids and so forth and so on. I guess we look for a challenge, don't we? Breeding guppies and breeding mollies is pretty easy to do.
Oh yeah.
Breeding egg layers and getting the fry to hatch and survive is a much, well, usually a much more difficult thing to do. Mm-hmm. But if we're killing off, if we as a race, human beings, Homo sapiens, whatever, if we're killing these things off, then somebody's got to do something. And I'm basically going to be a guy with 3 tanks on a rack. One of them's got a big chunk of glass missing out the bottom, and I'm not comfortable completely filling it up completely with water. So it'll probably end up just being a paludarium. I'll
Very
fill
cool.
it half or 2/3 or something like that. Grow some plants. I might sell a couple on eBay or whatever. I don't know. But because I live in an apartment building and I got people living below me, I don't want to fill this tank completely with water if the structural integrity is in doubt. I don't want to put myself through that hassle or the people who live below me. So
Yeah, that would cause a lot of trouble with the other
I'll just-
tenants.
I'll just do the best I can with it and hopefully sleep a bit more soundly at night. So there you go. So yeah, that's what's going on. It's I had today off. I've got tomorrow off. So tomorrow's going to be the descaling and citric acid test. And like I said, I'll be posting a few short lives just to check progress and stuff like that. And maybe if it works, if I can find a way to make it work, I'll turn that into a long form as a how-to video and maybe help a few people out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how are your fish doing, Jeff?
They're doing well. They're doing really well. They're a little bit mad at me right now because I was down here in the wee hours of the morning catching a bunch of fish. I shipped out 4 boxes today. I got 2 boxes that went to Jose, Joy of Fish Keeping.
Yeah.
Box going to Tiffany in Illinois. And then I have 2 pairs of apistogrammas that I sent to Ron in Palm Desert.
Oh, really?
They're all going to be arriving on Thursday, according to the tracking.
So what's your weather like? Is it warm enough to ship right now?
Oh yeah. Well, I have heat packs. For Ron, it's really hot for him. So what I did with his is I took the heat pack out of the package. They're 72-hour heat packs. I took it out about 24 hours before I even put it in the box.
Right.
To let it burn out a little bit. That way, when it gets closer to his place, it might extinguish itself, and by that time, it's going to be plenty warm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, they're breeding all over the place. I got the babies are having babies. I've got a 29-gallon tank. I got like 4 or 5 pairs in there.
Yeah.
And they're raising fry in that tank in different areas.
Yeah, I saw that on the replay of your stream from the night before last, I think it was.
June is
Hello,
here.
June. Hello, June. How you doing?
Hello. Hey there. Are you ready for the off topic tonight? Last week, Don, I laughed so hard that I started crying.
On the off topic?
Yeah. You know that saying, Loki, and do you ever watch any of the Marvel stuff at all?
Which one? Marvel?
Marvel, yeah. The Loki is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, he said, he was talking to the guy, he said, you had one job, and we were talking, this is what got me. I said, yep, she had one job and she blew it. And then out of the corner of my eyes, I seen Christine started to laugh a little bit, and I just lost it. When I just happened to look, the expression on her face, boom, it was it. It was all over for me at that point.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize, I was just saying, you had one job. She had one job and she blew. She started laughing. I didn't even realize that she was taking it in that context. But oh my gosh, it was fun.
Loki was the Lord of Mischief or something like that, wasn't he?
Yeah, Loki. Yep, he was the adopted son of Odin.
Odin, yeah. My son is into all those things. Yeah.
Oh, Loki's been my favorite in the Viking saga and Marvel. Oh, nice. Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, very fun.
June, are you Viking as well? Because Jeff is, and I am.
Doing what? Oh, Viking? Oh, yeah.
Viking, yeah.
Skull. Every time I hear that say skull, I'm thinking of somebody's got some chewing tobacco, right? skull chewing.
Yeah, because my mother's family was Norwegian and German, and my father's family come from the UK, so English and Scots.
My mother's side was French and American Indian. My grandpa
Oh,
was half Chippewa.
Chippewa.
That's a tribe up in Michigan and the Great Lakes areas up here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they also made their way into Canada too.
Hmm.
So I'm everybody said I should go and check in with the government. I'm supposed to have some money or something, but I'm not doing that. My mother, she was a quarter Chippewa, and the government actually came to the house. It was a big deal back then, way back in the late '60s. I remember they came like, "Oh, ma'am, well you're an American Indian. You deserve to have this money." And we were poor. I mean, we were seriously poor as church mice. And this is what really got me. I never in my would even imagine that she would not take it. It was a backup. It was a what do they call that? Like if you apply for something and you don't get it, then finally you do, and you get a lump sum. What do they call
Yeah,
that? Yeah, that's what they did for her, and it was like
it's like
it was like
grandfathered. Yeah.
nearly $100,000.
Wow.
You know what she said? Give it to somebody who needs it. I was just a little boy. I was like, what, 5 years old? I didn't know anything about it. But I remember hearing that, and I remember it said money. I knew it was money, but I didn't know, when you're 5 years old, you don't think about money like that. But she says no. She was a waitress working for tips back in the 60s and 70s. We lived so poor. We never even had indoor plumbing until 1974. Serious. That $100,000 could have been life-changing money for us, but you know what? I really respect my mother for doing what she did because,
That taught you some lessons, didn't it?
oh yeah,
Hmm.
she was.
Yeah. Fair play to her.
My mom is Azon's DNA shows she's all angry Persian nations. I'm one angry woman. Oh, well, hopefully we can make you happy by the end of this.
Persia's been in the news recently,
Oh yeah. Yep.
but let's not go there.
No.
Did
But
you notice? Did you notice, Jeff, how Trump seemed to stay with the teleprompter very much today when the king visited? Wonder why that is. Anyhow, let's not get
oh,
into politics.
okay.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about fish. Let's talk about things that make everybody happy instead of things that divide us.
Oh, so did I tell you about the new fish? I know you don't like them, but I got some of those Turkana jewels also, June, and they're pretty. They're really nice. I know you. I know you don't really. It's not your cup of tea. I know that, but they are gorgeous. Um, and I'm gonna hopefully breed them. I'm still trying to breed my albino crebensis. Oh, and I got pink convicts for June. I gotta get them out there to you. I just shipped Pistogrammus to Ron in Palm Desert today, and they'll be arriving on Thursday.
Hmm.
Where the no king protest? Oh yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I got them shipped out. I got Tiffany's got two pink convict females, really nice little chunky ones. She really loved them. So she paid for them over a year ago. And at the time, I didn't have any bags, and I told her so. She says, that's okay. Just go ahead and, when you get time to get them, and just send them to me. It's been over a year. And so what I did is I gave her extras.
Well,
And I
you
gave
better,
her,
yeah.
oh, yeah, and I gave her a hang-on back filter.
Oh, nice.
Yep, a Penguin 350. It does. It's for like one of those is good for a 75 gallon, and does 350 gallons per hour. And
I had
I
a couple of I had a couple of penguins. They're quite good.
So I got a bunch of them. I'm going to send her some more too because
Yeah.
she says she needs as many filters as she can get because she actually has. Well, I don't have a lot of tanks, but she has about the same amount of tanks I do. Like
What's that number, Jeff? 27, yeah?
Hers is 27. I have, well, when I get all of my things set up, I'll have 34 when I get my other tanks set up.
Yeah.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, upstairs 6. I got 6 more tanks to set up. Anywhere from a 5-gallon all the way up to a 37-gallon.
Well, stop wasting time to get the damn thing set up, Jeff.
I was just chatting with Richard Reynolds on sent me 6 angels from last year's auction. Didn't charge me anything, blew my mind. You know what? I'm going to say this, and I don't know if he's watching. He might be. I talked to him. I said we were streaming. That man is absolutely, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not only generous, but he's kind. And I don't know. I could be he calls me sometimes on the telephone. And he, you know what? It's like, if I'm very agitated, it's like he knows it. He'll call me up and say, hey, you want to talk? Start talking. And what a good human being. I tell you what, it doesn't get much better than that, honestly. And, and I'm not just saying that because he puts stuff up for auction and, for giveaways. He's been that way for, as long as I've known him. And I don't see, he has character. You're right, June. Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like he's got substance.
He does. He's a good,
substance.
I can say this. He's a good man. He's a good human being.
Yeah.
And I definitely appreciate that character in him. He's a good guy. Just like you. You're a good guy. June's wonderful. Did you stream with Mexicali the other night? Somebody was telling me about that, and I was trying to find it, and I couldn't see it. Who was telling me about that? Beto. Beto said that June was streaming with Mexicali. I need to do something special. Yes, I do too. I do too, June. You're right. I wonder when his birthday is. I'll look it up. I'll
Look it up on Fish Fam.
Yeah, it might be on Fish Fam. Yeah, that's a good idea. But yeah, maybe I would like to do something for him too. I just don't know what I could do. He's got really fantastic fish. I mean, I couldn't really give him any fish that I have that would make any improvement to what he has, except maybe the bimaculatas. But even them, it's like I still want to breed them, and I want to send him some fry as soon as I get some breeding out of him. Only happy. Oh no, I haven't. Only Happy Place Jim. Oh, okay. Oh, it's Happy Place. Ah, okay. You should come up and join us some night, June. We come over here and talk. I mean, we have Mouse come in and we do it like this. Should be talking like this. If you don't like to be on camera, it'd be great to have you.
Oh, I can do that? Look, I can.
Yeah, look at this. Yep, we can do that. I've come to think it's the water, not the fish. Oh, water, not the fish. Oh, okay. Happy Place Aquatics. Yeah, Jim, he lives down in Ohio, I think.
Ohio. Yay.
I believe. Is it Ohio he lives in, June, or is it Indiana? It's one of those two. But he's a mechanic. I don't know a lot about Jim. I have been into his chat a couple times. I should go more, actually. I mean, it's so hard to support everybody all the time, though. When you're, it's a lot of
I'll tell you what I watched this morning, Jeff, was a replay of Mexicali's live stream from last night with Steve Flowers with Horns. That guy knows an awful lot about the history of flower horns.
Yep.
And fish in general. He knows a tremendous amount, and I was just fascinated by the whole conversation. It was really, really enlightening to watch.
I know that one of the cornerstones of flower horns is the trimax cichlid,
Yeah,
and also some of the red devil is in it too, depending on what type of flower horn you get.
reds and greens and this and that. I mean, he went into it, but they're not my thing. I like
No.
smaller cichlids. I like smaller cichlids. I love crebenses. I think crebenses are the perfect cichlid. They're not too aggressive. They got so much color. They got so much personality. They look after their young. They'll fight to the death. But I've had them in tanks with rainbow fish and angels, convex cichlids. They left everything alone, except when they were breeding and raising their young. And just don't get near me. I'm just going to chase you away, and then everything's cool. And it was fine. And they're just such beautiful fish.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what though, for most of my hobby, I was into the big cichlids. I had Oscars also a few times. My last set, I had two of them. It's about 3 years ago, and I was moving into a different area of fish keeping. But I had the Vieja, lots of different types of Viejas, Jack Dempsey's. I had one of my favorite is this fish. I'll show you here. That right there, that face of that fish, that's called well, now it's called a Masco Heroes Argentine. It used to be Vieja Argentine. And I tell you what, when those things color up, their fins, oh, they are just stunning.
Speaking of Jack Dempsey's, every Jack Dempsey I've ever seen in my life has been a great big sissy pants.
Oh,
I've
really?
never seen a Jack Dempsey in my life even remotely acting like a bully. And I don't know where they got their name.
Wow. I've had some pretty aggressive ones.
If it was up to me, I'd call them panty waists, not Jack Dempsey's.
Well, the ones I've had were, I had one that it kind of, well, it didn't last very long, but he actually challenged one of my Midas cichlids that I had, and the Midas was a good 2 or 3 inches bigger than him, and they're a really tall fish too. So you see this Jack Dempsey here, he was going face to face with him, but they didn't get any. They never even touched. They were just basically doing that back and forth,
Just facing off, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fun. I like to watch that. Some people, oh, you're cruel watching those fish fight. They're not fighting, they're interacting. That's what they do. They do the same thing in nature. They just have more room is all.
Yeah. If you had females in the tank, female cichlids as well, then there'd be a reason for it, I suppose. But if you're one of the overstockers of males only, which I just don't get. I'm not trying to cast aspersions on anybody's bent on the hobby, but I just
Some of the
don't
fish
get
you gotta overcrowd some of them, because otherwise they will go on a killing spree, and you're going to end up with one less fish every 3 days to a week until they're all gone except for one.
Yeah, you say that, Jeff, and my flatmate, he's had a tank. I've lived here in this apartment for 11 years. He's had a tank ever since I've been here. So one of the reasons I wanted to move in, because he had fish. I didn't have to spend any money to look at fish. But he's always had cichlids since I've been here. And he had a living stone eye. It was the most beautiful fish, sort of
Nimbochromis.
camo green and yellowy colors and stuff like that, with like giraffe spots on it.
What they call him, the hyena.
And one day he just flipped. He was the most personable fish you'd ever want to know in your life. And one day he just flipped and tore the crap out of everything else in the tank.
They definitely have that capacity. I've had them. I've had them before. They can go to town.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did. And it's just like, why would I want to set myself up? spending $300, $400, $500 or pounds worth, of money to stock a big tank like that with expensive cichlids, to have one of them just decide, oh, today I'm going to kill everything and just shred the tank.
I see what June wrote here. She says, my pair were full grown when I got them. They bullied the Oscars when they were babies. Wow. I've had Oscars and Jack Dempseys together, and I always made it a point to make sure the Oscar was bigger because if I did them equal size, I had a Jack Dempsey, it wouldn't be any contest really. Balances everything.
If they started when they were babies and they started bullying Oscars, they probably thought they were Chihuahuas or something like that.
Well, they get up to 8 to 10 inches. They say for them. I think the biggest one I ever had was about 7.
Same for Chihuahuas, about 8 to 10 inches.
That's one dog that I will never. And every Chihuahua I've ever met hates my guts from head to toe. My aunt had one, a little blonde one, and its name was Banana.
Yeah.
And that little sucker, it was like a rattlesnake on 4 legs. He'd growl at me in the little fangs and show the gums, And as soon as I turned my head, that dog was on my ankle.
Yeah. I had a girlfriend years and years ago when I lived in southeastern Ohio. And she lived with her parents, and they had 7 Chihuahuas. And for the first week, when I went around, they couldn't stand me. They were trying to tear my toes off and things like that. But after a week, they were lap dogs. They'd just wait for me to come in, sit down on the sofa, and they'd all jump up on top of me and play King of the Mountain and see who could get the most cuddles. So once they decide you're okay, then you're okay. But you can't teach that to cichlids. Cichlids, you can't just say, wait a week and they'll calm down. Once they've got that fever, and they're just going to shred the tank.
Yeah. They will do that.
My experience.
Oh, first time I saw Jack suck up the fry, my heart stopped. Oh, yeah, they do that to move them around and stuff too. Yeah, I seen that.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like the Africans. The females will hold them. And this is what kind of an amazing thing about them is once they have eggs in their mouth, they will not eat even the slightest morsel for about 21 days.
Right.
And when they spit those fry out, then you got to just feed her a lot, and then after a couple of days, you can put her back in the tank. But
yeah,
I was like, that's one of the reasons why I got out of the Africans. It's like I'm not the kind of, they call it stripping, right? You take them and you pull their jaw down and shake them, and the fry will fall out of their mouth. I'm sorry, but I can't do that.
Yeah, if you have to do that to breed an animal, then it's like English bulldogs. They've been American version of English bulldogs. They've been bred to the point that they can't reproduce without human intervention. And to me, that's wrong.
They can barely breathe through their nose even.
Yeah, without snoring, you gotta rub Vaseline on the nostrils and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're all stuffed up. I had a pug. I liked the little pugs. But the same thing with them.
Yeah.
But you look at those eyes and those little wrinkles around their eyes up here and stuff. Oh, you just want to give them a smooch. They were just so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I'm not either. I don't. That's why I got out of them. I only have 4 red zebras left, and they're on their way out. Oh, because of that, the project I was telling you about. I'm moving that fish. I'll probably move that fish tonight. And when he's out, all I got to do is it'll be completely empty, and then I can get started.
Yeah.
All from one dog. Yep. Isn't that amazing how many different types of dogs they have from one?
Yeah. From Chihuahua to Great Dane, or Irish Wolfhound, even bigger.
Mm-hmm.
All the same thing.
Those little teacup. You know what's funny though? Well, it's not funny.
Melvin is in the building.
My name Melvin. Hey Melvin. How you doing? But they had a little. It was a Chihuahua puppy, and that thing literally could sit on your hand. It was so tiny. A squirrel jumped down the tree and chased it and attacked it. And the squirrel was about 3 times bigger. I mean, the squirrel was huge compared to that thing. I was like, well, you better watch out for these blackbirds and stuff because they'll come down there or even like a hawk or something. They'd take that thing in a heartbeat.
Yeah, as I said, never mind what a bald eagle's going to do.
I'm Melvin. I'm doing good, he says. I told Melvin also, get that tank. I got these fire mouths. I'm in the shipping mood and season for it. But except you know what I did, and this is really bad. I mean, if you talk to Jose, hey Uncle Smiley, how you doing?
Hey Joel.
I kind of lost track there for a second.
Chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas. It was Chihuahuas, and then we moved on to. Jeez, that's what ADHD does to you, right there. I tell you what, you're.
What Joel walked in. It's all his fault.
No.
Come on, Joel. What was Jeff saying?
The project.
There you go.
So I'm gonna get him out. And what I did. Okay, yeah, I know now. When I shipped, Jose's order was 4 decent-sized bristlenose, and all I have are these small boxes in these great big, huge bags. Well, I was 1 bag short on his order, so he only got 3. But he's really there. You go again with his nice attitude and everything. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We got plenty of time. It's just 1 pleco. Really sets you at ease. It's really nice. Yeah. I get all wound up. I'm like, I want to please people. I want to make sure people get what they ordered.
Yeah.
And when I don't, I get I'm really hard on myself.
Yeah. And we all know that when you finish that order, he's going to get something extra.
What? Wait, what? What happened? She says, wait, what? Attitude is 90%. But yeah, I sent that. I also sent Tiffany really nice pink convicts. I'm going to send June some of those. I got a pair. I got a couple males. I'm going to try and get you a pair of those. That way you can breed them up and have all them extra fry for, whatever you want to use them for. I've done that. They have a lot of fry, and they breed about every 3 weeks, if you let them. I mean, you don't have any choice, actually. They'll do it. They'll do it on the glass if they have to. They will. I send shipping cost at least. Well, we'll see about that. You know what? I at this point in my life right now, I kind of need to have that happen. But when I start getting my Social Security in the fall, I want to start being generous. I want to start doing stuff for people because June is so nice. She got me those anomalous. I didn't even know about it until later on. And then I was putting 2 and 2 together. She kept saying, have you gotten any new fish yet, Jeff? And I was like, no, not yet. No, I haven't got anything. And then Chris came to me and he says, yeah, I got these. As soon as the weather warms up, you're getting this pair of anomalies. And he sent me 2 pair. David has fry on his now. He came home from Kentucky to a tank full of fry. But pink convicts will be cool in the glow. Oh, yeah. I'm not allowed to feed live. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I you know what, though? Pink convict is the fish that I made a lot of money in back in 1974. Oh, Magnus is here.
Magnus. Yeah, hello, Magnus.
Hello, mate. Convicts. Yeah, pink convicts. I made money, actual money with them when they first started coming around. They will breed in a pink Cadillac, yeah.
It used to be quite easy to make money off breeding cichlids.
It used to be. It is now, too, depending on what you got.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know that George Aquaballs bought 2 pair of pistos from me and a group of shell dwellers, and I couldn't ship his out because I don't have the bags. So I had to order bags, all kinds. I'm totally out of bags, and I'm almost out of boxes. I usually buy fish, and I'll use those boxes over again. But I got to start getting actual boxes built. Yeah, that's Melvin, Agnes. I think you know him. He's been around. Melvin's been around here forever. But Magnus has some really sweet koi in Sweden. Mm-hmm.
Melvin, the man of 1,000 names.
That's what I do too. One good thing, June, my medication that I take for my psoriasis, they come in a nice styrofoam box, but it's only one every 8 weeks. But hey, you know what's better than nothing? And they're about this thick too on the inside. They're a good inch and a half.
Well, it's nice you can find. It's nice you can find a second use for the styrofoam, because that's like a forever thing, isn't it? It doesn't biodegrade. It just hangs around in landfill.
Because when I send fish to David and I send fish to George, when they send something back, they send it back with that very same box. So it goes back and forth and back and forth. I mean, it really is good for the environment.
Yeah.
I have to hit. Oh, the coolers. Oh yeah, my cats used to love to jump in the box. You see a cardboard box on the floor? That was the favorite toy. They'd all jump in there at the same time. Even when they were older, like 18, 19 years old, they were like kittens. You throw a big old cardboard box in the middle of the floor, and bam, they're in it. Yeah. Yes, almost 8 years in YouTube coming up. I started in YouTube in 2008, and I had a gun channel way back, and then YouTube wasn't very. They kind of had a different stance on guns and everything, so I didn't want to make any waves, because I had my aquarium hobby too, and I almost did that first, but I didn't. So I had something to back up after that. So once the channel name was called Guns with a capital R Fun. Guns are fun. And the R, people are like, oh, geez, this guy thinks guns are a toy. No. Guns, the R was for responsibility. And the fun is because if you know how to handle your firearms and whatnot, it's fun to go to the range. So that's why I called it fun. Guns are fun. It's not like the stereotype that people get, somebody says, oh, yeah, he thinks it's a toy. No. People make too many assumptions in this world. Guns are fun, yep, that's right. And the R is for responsibility. It's even on, what's that one, where they have all the pictures. It's not Instagram, but it's, oh God, why can't I think of these places? It's on, it'll come to me. It wasn't Reddit. It was
not TikTok.
Not TikTok. No, it wasn't a social media. It was just a place to post your pictures.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man, I wish I could think of it.
I got given my first gun when I was 10 days old, Jeff.
You got what?
I got given my first gun when I was 10 days old.
Wow.
It was a Savage 410-22 over under.
Oh, nice. That is the same gun that my dad had.
Yeah.
22 on top, 410 underneath.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. Take a squirrel and rabbit hunting. You start out with the 22, and if you're not a good enough shot, you just flip the switch down and hit them with a 410 cartridge, and there's your lunch.
Even though 410's not a very big round, my dad's 410 would kick like a mule.
Yeah, it's big enough for a rabbit and a squirrel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Don, were you born in Texas?
No, I was born in Bowling Green, Ohio.
I could have
Were
been
you
born in Texas.
were you born in Texas, Jim?
Where were you born? Yeah, that's a good question. I never even know this. Okay. Where were you born at? Where were you born at, Melvin? This is kind of nice. We get to know each other better. I know that if
We're probably giving away too much personal security information. Making our accounts hackable.
I made it.
Oh, Texas with the guns. No, I was born in Ohio. Sorry to disappoint.
Chicago, Illinois is where Melvin's from. Atlanta from Joel. Oh, nice. I've been in Lansing. I've been in Michigan. Well, DeWitt, which is about 10 miles north of me. Really nice. It was out in the country. My mother's house. I was there till I was about 16, 17. And then I ventured out into the big, harsh world. And
San Jose is a nice place, Jim. San Jose is a beautiful place. I love that part of California.
Yes. California is a beautiful state. It really, I mean, as far as the land, the weather, it gets hot, but it's really a beautiful place. I'm not going to talk about politics, but it's a beautiful place. It really is. So with me saying that, you understand that it was. It was.
Well, I think since 1990, Jeff, I've been in the States twice on the 4th of July. And one of those times was I was in San Francisco.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And yeah, I mean, Northern California, I'm reasonably familiar with. Southern California, I changed planes once in LAX. I don't think I've ever been really south of San Jose or Los Gatos, whatever, except for the one time I changed planes in Los Angeles, and like I said, never left the airport. So I can't really say I've seen Southern California at all.
Would it be okay if I talk to Magnus for a second? He says not all gun owners are responsible. I feel more safe on the streets here, where anyone carrying a gun will be arrested. Well, now consider this. Not everybody's a good citizen. If you have a criminal and they want to carry a gun and they want to rob you, they're going to do it no matter what city you're in. And if in your own home, if they want to break into your home and they want to kill you, I think you have a right to defend yourself. That's just my 2 cents. I just seen that and I was like, well, I had to address that because, yeah, you're right. Not all people are, but they say the best balance is you got a bad guy with a gun, a good guy with a gun.
And not all people that have guns are a good shot. Quite a few of them are stormtroopers, as we've seen recently. And I'll just leave it there.
Now, on the other hand, I train with my firearms at the range. It would be very, very, I'm not going to say impossible because nothing is totally impossible, but I generally hit what I shoot at because I was on the Glock team for 4 years here in Michigan. Yeah. I did pretty well. Yeah, that's right. 99 or yeah, that's right. 1% gets all the attention. You're right. You know something? It's because the media wants to put the worst thing on because it gathers all the attention. You know, it's not like the squirrel that's on the surfboard. Something happy and fun. They call it fluff. They don't do that because it doesn't gather attention. And that's what's bad about. I think that's what's bad about humanity. It focuses on bad things.
What's wrong with humanity, Jeff, is we don't understand that we're all cousins and we're all related, and so many things. And I'm going to I'm going to go off on one briefly, and then I'll stop. Organized religion has so much to answer for. You know, the Spanish Inquisition, so many lives lost because of Christians versus Muslims and stuff like that. Muslims versus Christians and Jews against everybody, or everybody against Jews, or whatever. And if it wasn't for organized religion, I don't think we'd be in this fucking state.
There's been a lot of wars.
If we all sat down and realized we come from pretty much the same DNA pool, a few variations, and somehow or other, we're all related. We're all family. Get rid of turf out that organized religion, and let's see if people get along. Then you got to get rid of the politicians, because they're only after one thing, which is themselves.
And
just
money.
Money and power. Let human beings be human beings. Let's all get along. Mm-hmm. You know, and
that's how I live my life. You know what? That's why. When you had mentioned earlier that we're responsible for what other bad people do, I'm of the thinking that, you know what, if everybody did the right thing, then the wrong thing wouldn't happen.
Okay, but what's the right thing? What's the right thing and what's the wrong thing? It depends.
The right thing is not destroying.
It depends on which preacher you listen to, which politician you follow.
I'm not preaching.
No. I'm not calling you a preacher. I'm saying it depends on which preacher, which priest, which reverend, which pastor, which imam you listen to that tells you how to think. That tells people how to think, not you, Jeff.
Oh no,
tells people how to think, and that's where things are going wrong.
Yeah, it's the sheep mentality that they're trying to make everybody fall in line and not question anything.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about. On the stream tonight, it's question everything, is what Christine's motto is. And I think it's good because you know what? If they know they can run over you and do whatever they want, anytime they want, they're going to continue to do so because why not? They're getting what they want. And if we don't get what we want, they don't care.
Yeah.
Children know right from wrong. We teach them to. Yes, you know what? That is true.
Some parents teach that, and some parents don't give a stuff. They let their kids run around and be little terrorists, and they don't give a shit what they're up to. You know, there's no 100% of anything.
I've been living for 50 years now, never been robbed, and nobody has ever broken. Well, I have here, not this house, but back when I first met Kathy, before I really started getting into the firearm scene back in the early 90s, our house was broken into, and I can tell you this. Even though we weren't harmed, because we were both at work, we came home to this. The whole house was turned upside down. And you know something? That sticks with you for a long time. Because every time you go home, you're looking around. You're looking around. Because it makes you feel like, it's like part of you been raped or something. You know, it's like it happened once, it can happen again. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that has never happened to you. Using it would put you in jail. Well, see here, that's why I'm glad to be where I'm at, because we have the castle doctrine that if somebody comes in to rape my wife or kill me or kill us both, we have the opportunity to live. I'm just saying, I like it. I like the fact that we do that. And they are trying so hard to take that away from us. You know, if we were ever invaded in this country for any unknown reason, there's about 200 million people that have guns. And that's a pretty good size army. I mean, that's why I don't think any other country would ever try to beat it. Because they know that, like the Japanese said back in World War II, behind every blade of grass is a gun. That's what they said. You know, it's not really. Yes, right.
If
my guns did not. I didn't have guns at that time. I got guns after that. I was at work, and I picked my wife up from work, and we both go home together. We got home to a door that was kicked in and a glass that was broken in the back of our home. My 180, I had my Midas in. I had this 2 big containers of Jumbo Min. They poured the whole thing in them tanks, and when it absorbed, it was this thick all the way across the top. I was up till probably 5 o'clock in the morning. I got home about 5. It took me like 12 hours to clean that tank. But on top of that, they sat at our table. They ate our food. They opened up a bottle of wine, and the bottle of wine's right there on the table. After that, I said to myself, if this happens when we're home, what's going to happen? So you know what? I took the route that I to this day I'm glad I did, because ever since then I'm able to sleep at night. To me, it's just hostile. I am out of. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run. I'm very sorry about that, Magnum. I don't mean to make you uncomfortable. I was just talking for my own self.
Anyhow, back to fish, Jeff.
Yeah, yes.
Tell us about those Ivanicara bimaculatas.
They're beautiful. I think I need to get an RO filter. People are telling me the reason those eggs aren't hatching is because the TDS is too high. And I believe it, because I had a pair of Epistogramma agassizi double reds several years ago, and they spawned and spawned and spawned and never had one fry, and eggs would not hatch because the TDS was too high, and I think the eggs calcified. And when it gets that way, they try to hatch, but they can't break out, and they die. And then the parents eat it. Laws keep honest people honest. Criminals don't care about laws. You're right, June. Absolutely right. And once again, Magnus, I'm very sorry if I made you uncomfortable. If you happen to still be here, that was my fault. I kind of swayed off course here from Don's topic.
Well, I think we both did, Jeff. I went off on my little toadstool as well. So shouldn't have happened, but it did. Live and learn.
Oh yeah, I got the big intake sponges that go on the hang-on backs. I sent one of those with Tiffany's order. You're still here? Good, Melvin.
Speaking of which.
Oh, look at that. Ooh, Swiss Tropical.
Swiss Tropicals Porette filter with a jet lifter.
What PPI is that one?
20.
Yeah, perfect.
20 PPI, and it costs as much for my sister to ship it from Columbus, Ohio, over here as it cost me to buy it with shipping to get it from Minnesota to Ohio. So all in, it was about $65 for a sponge filter, but I've got it. And that's one of the things I'm going to be trying in one of these tanks. And the other tank, one of the other tanks, I'm going to be trying a big, a proper 20 PPI Matin filter.
3 times that size, it must be a joke filter. Is there anywhere in the United Kingdom that sells that type of foam?
Not reliably. That they all come from China, and if a Chinese site says, yeah, of course it's a Porette, is it really? I mean, I trust Stefan. He's built his reputation on this. So yeah. I'd rather, because all the junk cheapo sponge filters you get that all come from China, they sponge collapse after a year or two.
Oh, the garden eater did a short. Oh, did you ever see, June? Have you ever seen the movie called Zoolander?
I think I have, yeah.
Ben Stiller. Who else is in there? Zoolander was Ben Stiller, Mila Jovovich. He's the one that does the Resident Evil, and Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And so he's talking Ben Stiller into doing something. He's going to build this school for kids that don't read good. And he shows him a model of it. And Ben Stiller walks up to it and he says, "What is this? A school for ants?" It's a little thing. It was so funny. He goes, "No, it was funny. It was just hilarious." I love movies like that. Will Ferrell, Owen Wilson, yep.
Owen Wilson. He was the voice from Cars.
Oh yeah.
The Pixar movie. What was his name? The red car, the protagonist.
Mugatu was the Will Ferrell character, and it was so funny. He says, "I created the piano necktie. I did something."
Lightning McQueen. He was Lightning McQueen.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Melvin's laughing. Look at him. That was a good movie, though. Yep, Owen Wilson. Another good, funny movie was called Wedding Crashers. I know I'm going off fish topic. I'm sorry. I get talking about stuff. Jackie Chan westerns, yeah. John Wong. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jackie Chan was good. I like Jet Li too. He was good too. So, are you gonna? So I know that you got your stand there, and you have no plans to get any other tanks, or do you have room for one more?
I've got a 7.5 gallon in my bedroom. I've got about a 3-liter bucket in my bedroom that's got a blackworm culture in it, which is very small for a blackworm culture, I know. I've got a 20 gallon in my bedroom that is empty and it needs resealing. But I need better furniture to put it on, so that's empty at the moment. And really, really, really running out of room. I mean, it's just so tight. I've got pots and pans in a cardboard box on the floor in the corner in the kitchen because I don't have cupboard space for them. I have to take them out. Every time I want to use them, I take them out, wash them inside and out, dry them, and then use them, and then wash them and dry them and stick them back in the box.
I just realized something also. I got 4 extra tanks upstairs that I didn't even count. 2 40-gallon breeders I have to reseal. I've never resealed the tank yet, but I'm going to try it down here on the cement floor.
Yeah, on a cement floor, that's great, but I've got people living below me.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm going to reseal these down here, and that'll give me 2 more 40 breeders, and then I got
I would love to hit the lotto, and I would buy myself a place with a big ass basement and a lovely, very level concrete floor with a couple of drainage troughs in it and a sump in the bottom in case anything went wrong, and I'd fill it with fish tanks, and I'd just be in hog heaven. But
I could do something.
That hasn't happened yet.
I could do a lot down here, but I'm going to be honest with you. My dopamine levels in my brain are so low that I'm lucky to do what I do right now even.
Get more fish, Jeff. Get more fish.
Well, I can do, yeah.
Where's that dopamine?
Yeah, well, it's really a thing though with the ADHD. It really is. That's why I'm going to start the TMS therapy. It's supposed to help that and get the neuroplasticity and get neural pathways opened up and stuff. But I tell you what, if you don't have that, you won't do anything unless it's going to bring you some type of pleasure.
Yeah.
My house is a mess. Kathy's not healthy enough to do much of the work, and it came on to, and ever since this came on, it was after my cats died. It really hit me even harder because before that, I was, taking care of things. I could I'd have all this clutter. I mean, I got like a little island of clutter over here that if I wanted to down here, and if I was not, it's not lazy. It's just you think about it so much that your brain is exhausted by the end of the day, and then you're depressed because you wasted the whole day thinking about it and didn't do it. But it's not that you didn't want to. It's really very odd. And the people think, oh, you're just lazy. You're this, that. No, it's not. I tell you, it is a real thing. I've seen some other things on it recently.
Yeah.
That
I feel it. I feel it, Jeff. I feel it. It's one of the reasons it's taken me almost a year to get to where I am today. So
you may have it too.
not been tested, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I was tested. I'm probably like middle of the road. I'm not like super bad. I'm not good. I'm just kind of like in the middle. Paul Cafaro said,
Anyway, it's time for me to log off and go.
"Oh, is it?
I've got lots of things to do tomorrow. You've got another stream coming up
Oh, I do.
in
Yeah,
not,
in about
in
2
not very
hours,
long. Yeah.
a couple hours.
So you got to go look after the good lady wife.
Yeah, cook some supper for her, and then come down for the street.
That's right. I've got a few things I need to tidy here before I go to bed, and then I'm off to bed because it's going on 11:15 here.
Oh, that's
Right,
early
so
for me. That's early for
yeah,
me.
it's getting up time for you.
Mhm.
Anyhow, thank you, Melvin and June and Magnus
Melvin.
for stopping in, and thank you, of course, Jeff, as always.
Thank you for inviting me.
And keep an eye on the channel tomorrow on on Wednesday. I'll be popping up with a few short live streams just to sort of document what I'm doing with the citric acid in the lime scale, and we'll just see how that goes. And it could be a learning experience. Well, it will be a learning experience for me, and it could be the same for a few other people.
Mm-hmm. It is 6:13 here right now.
Yeah.
Same for him. So we just switched over. Oh, only 3 p.m. for June on the West Coast. Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you again, Jeff, and thank you all for showing up. And
I'm sure we'll probably grace each other's company on the stream again sometime.
we'll probably see each other pretty soon.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Joel.
Thank you, guys.
Good night. Good night, and take care.
See you later on at Christine's. Oh,
Good night.
good night. Yeah, we're live. There's a little button you got to